And people are throwing shade at probably one of the best hitters to ever touch a baseball, which he is. Man, I'm just gonna look at y'all, man. Why y'all doing my boy Chipper like that? We talking about the greatest switch hitter of all time that baseball has ever seen, and y'all doing my man like that. Come on, he's a Hall of Famer, man. First ballot guy. No brainer. You can't tell that guy he don't know anything about hitting. You're a high school ball player, and you trying to say Chipper don't know what he's talking about? Come on, guys, we gotta do better than that.
Bruh.
You're better than that.
Bruh.
Here's the biggest thing that separates good hitting instructors from bad ones. Bad hitting instructors, they only have one message, and that's the message that they can portray. Good hitting instructors, they can deliver a message, but they can also decipher the message that's being sent to them by the hitter. So if you're hitting with somebody and you can only convey a message one way, you're not a good instructor. You can take 10 guys and line them all up, and only 2 will interpret what you're saying exactly how you said it, and they'll be able to convey that same message to you. Now, to those other 8 guys, you got to figure out, okay, if they didn't understand it this way, what's another way that I can say it? If they didn't understand it this way, what's another way that I can say it? So I'm watching this Chipper Jones video surface and circulate, and people are throwing shade at probably one of the best hitters to ever touch a baseball, which he is. All right? And whether you do or don't agree with his message, the man is right. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. Just because you don't understand it does not mean he's wrong. You know, in this day and age, everybody that can look at video, they claim to be a hitting instructor. Everybody that looks at a video, they think, oh, well, since I see this, that's right and this is wrong. No. Your ability to relay a message determines how good of an instructor you are. You don't know everything because you can look at something, freeze the frame and say, he's there, he's there, he's there, he's there, he's there. And then take another guy, freeze their frame, say, he's there, he's there, he's not there, he's not there, he's not there, so he's not a good hitter. That doesn't make you an instructor. All right? My mom, anybody can freeze a frame and do that, but how can you relay a message that they can interpret properly and be able to utilize it in this way, right? So in that's a very old school mentality that Chipper has about backspin in the baseball. I was the exact same way all throughout high school. You know, for me, I preferred to hit a ball down to the ground because I knew even if I backspun the baseball down to the ground, because I knew when I got in the game, my problem was popping up. So I'm not going to get on the tee and work on driving baseballs up, because now when I get in the game and that ball's on a straighter line and I have to be more direct to it, now I'm either missing the baseball or I'm definitely popping up. So maybe the adjustment for him was he's going to drive baseballs with backspin as straight as he possibly can. But what people are missing is what CJ is talking about versus what you're talking about. This day and age, I think more people, more students of the game, more followers of the game. I put it that way, you're not students. More followers of the game. You focus more on the bat, the instrument itself, working to the baseball, than how the athlete is working to the baseball, right? I see guys all the time, they switch bats, and I always say, man, it's not the arrow, it's the Indian. How are you swinging the instrument? So when you look at that video that Chipper's talking about, he's not wrong in what he's saying, but you're just looking at something different. So when you watch him go through his swing, he is swinging down on the ball. His instrument is just doing something different. So you got to understand where a person is coming from and understand the message that they're sending to understand exactly what they're saying. Because his hands are working down on the baseball, but his barrel is working beneath his hands, right? And so, and that's not a new concept. A lot of old school guys, they talk about swinging down on the baseball, but literally your hands feel like you're swinging down on the baseball. Whenever you get in a box and the guy's throwing 90 plus, and let's get this straight, 92, there's a big difference between 92 and 93. Once you get 93 to 95, that's a different range than 90 to 91 and 92. Those are, I know it seems fractional, but it looks totally different, right? And so when you watch Chipper Jones swing, his hands are working straight to the baseball, working down to the baseball, but the barrel's working under it. And that's just how it happens. Like I said before, this is a lever, all right, an uneven lever where it's heavier on this side than it is on the side closest to your hands. And naturally, in a lever, when you're holding on to this lever, the side that's the furthest away from you is always going to be the heaviest, and it's always going to drop when you're swinging it. So, with that being said, and another guy that talks about this, Barry Bonds, one of his keys to his swing, he would always talk about, and Tony Gwynn would say the same thing, I want to keep my hands above the baseball when I'm hitting. You know? So if somebody listens to that message, one way you can interpret keeping my hands above the baseball is, okay, he's trying to swing down on the ball. But what you're trying to do with your hands and what you're trying to do with your bat is totally different. They're doing two totally different things in the swing. Because what you're never going to be able to do with the bat, you're never going to be able to technically swing down on the baseball and get to playing that way. It's just not going to work. So with that being said, if it's so hard for that to happen, what is the hardest pitch to hit in the zone? What should be the hardest pitch physically to hit in the zone? It should be the pitch that's up at your eyes. That should be the hardest pitch to hit. And so I can't afford to have any loop to this baseball. So what you hear a lot of people say, you'll hear instructors say it, you'll hear players say it, you'll hear commentators say it. How many times have you heard he tomahawked that baseball? Oh, not even really. But you got to be straighter to that baseball than any other baseball in the game. That is the hardest pitch to hit, especially guys throwing 95 plus. It's hard to hit that baseball. And the only way you hit this baseball, because you ain't going to hit it getting your hands up under it, you're not going to have enough time to. A guy with velocity. That baseball, you got to keep your hands above it. And like it or not, your barrel's still going to drop a little bit. So that ball is so hard. It's so hard to hit. It feels like you're swinging down. So you take Chipper's concept, and you lower the tee. Essentially, he's just trying to do the same thing on that baseball. He knows that if he keeps his hands above the baseball, his barrel is going to match plane the best way it can to create backspin. And honestly, that's why I teach taking the knob to the baseball, because wherever the knob goes, wherever the hands go, eventually the barrel's going to get there too. But whether you like it or not, the barrel's going to drop. So you can interpret it two different ways. But you got to look at what he's saying in its totality, right? He's talking about swinging down. His hands, they are swinging down, but his barrel's not doing that. So you can't say the man is wrong because you're looking at his bat and not his hands, when he's probably talking about his hands and not his bat. So what we need to start doing is being better students of the game and not being followers of the game.
You're either going to do two things. You're going to let that break you down, or you're going to take that and build on it. You feel me? I thought I was ready. I thought I was ready. Then I learned more about life. The Porsches and Chevy. I thought I was ready. I thought I was ready. Then I took all of my losses to flip them to lessons. I thought I was ready. I thought I was ready.